With that, let's get to our weekly look at everyone's favorite part of politics and modern life.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
A bullshit?
There's a crisis in America that's so obvious, even conservative figures from Fox News like Bret Baier get it.
Basically, inflation and how people feel about the economy.
Maybe people are concerned about rising prices, grocery prices in particular.
But President Donald Trump is trying to sell a completely different version of reality, a made-up fantasy that he's pushing as if his political life depends on it, because it does.
And why are people saying they're anxious about the economy? Why are they saying that?
I don't know that they are saying. I think polls are fake. We have the greatest economy we've ever had.
But that's bullshit. The economy is on track to grow, but less than 3% this year. It's pretty average historically. And people are very much saying that the economy sucks. This is the most respected source of Americans' views on the economy, the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index. It's not just plunged in the past year since Donald Trump was elected. It's at a lower level than during the oil shock stagflation crisis of the late 1970s, the brutal 1982 recession, and the Great Recession of 2008. The good news for Donald Trump is it's not at the lowest level in history. It's at the second lowest, right behind the way people felt in the depths of the pandemic, but it's closing in. And honestly, people don't care that much about overall economic growth. The biggest problem they're facing is that they can't afford the basics of life. Trump has a new line he's been pushing on that one, too.
So Walmart, which everybody trusts, and I trust, they talk about the cost of Thanksgiving. For Joe Biden, it was 25% more than it is for me. That's a tremendous number. It's the biggest reduction in cost in the history of that chart or whatever it is they do.
But that's bullshit, as reporters have been falling all over themselves to point out.
President Trump can't stop talking about Walmart's Thanksgiving meal basket.
The White House has been touting the fact that the Walmart Thanksgiving meal this year costs 25% less than it did a year ago.
Trump isn't mentioning something really important, and that is that this year's Walmart basket is not the same as last year's basket. Most notably, it includes significantly fewer items, 15 products compared to 21.
But it also contains less.
I haven't heard that.
You see that pecan pie in last year's basket? It's gone this year. You see those mini marshmallows? Gone this year. You see how last year's version included both sweet potatoes and russet potatoes? This year's only has the russet potatoes. You just can't measure inflation based on any one company's holiday promotion, and you certainly can't do it when that promotion is different.
So you're telling me that if you buy less stuff, you'll usually pay less. Trump's final gambit has been a different kind of water muddying, a combination of restating what the word groceries means.
Groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries.
And what prices going up means.
When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price.
Followed by the last refuge of this particular scoundrel, calling the whole idea of people being able to afford things a hoax.
They have this new word called affordability, and the Democrats make it up.
But you don't even need me to tell you.
So what are grocery prices doing? They are up 2.7% this September compared to last September, and they're up 1.4% since President Trump returned to office in January.
And when pressed on this bovine secretion coming out of Trump's mouth, Kevin Hassett, director of the National Economic Council, had to admit that actually, it's not that things are getting better, it's that they're getting worse slower.
When the president says that grocery prices are down, what numbers is he basing that off, given that's not true?
The point is that inflation is way down.
Grocery prices are up. Household prices, we certainly have covered that, energy as well, but grocery prices are up about 1.4% since Trump took office.
Right, which is a big decline in the rate of inflation.
But to be clear, inflation is far below the crisis level of 9%, that rate that it hit during the summer of 2022. Inflation has been on the rise again, though, lately, and prices rose 3% in September.
Look, to be clear, inflation was through the roof in 2022, and economists agree that President Biden's COVID relief spending probably pushed it a little higher. They also agree that the vast majority of inflation was because of the COVID pandemic disrupting global supply chains. That's why inflation was sky high all around the world. And if you give Biden some blame, you also have to give him some credit for the fact that inflation came down further and faster in America than anywhere else. But the bottom line is, high prices, the cost of living, those were the number one reasons that voters gave for supporting Donald Trump in 2024. The idea that Democrats just invented these as issues is insane. If they wanted to invent issues, it would be stuff like liberals are too sexy, or is it a problem that Donald Trump has gotten into 4,000 lawsuits in his life? Oh, wait. You don't need me to tell you that everything costs too damn much. Prices are still going up, and Trump's insane policies are making things worse. As for the idea that Thanksgiving dinner is magically cheaper now, good luck selling that turkey. Or, as my friend here would say,
bullshit.